Yo guys, what's going on? Trevor Neff here, and I'm doing this whole VR thing now for videos, which I think is kind of cool because I don't really have a tripod for my camera, so I'm gonna do the VRChat way. Also, I promise this isn't my normal VR. My normal VR avatar is a guy with long black hair, black clothes, so almost like me in real life, right? Well, basically, what this video is gonna be about is telling you the good things and the bad things about VRChat. Should kids play this? Should you play it more? Should people be cautious of playing VRChat? And basically just things like that all around. So let's get right into the video. So the one good thing I can say about VRChat is an amazing place to make friends, be in a community with people, go to new places and explore all kinds of different worlds. You got places like the Black Cat. One of my favorite places to go is the back rooms. I did two videos? I think I did 2 videos on those. Yeah, I did 2 videos of those. Highly recommend checking those out. They are really good videos. They were fun to make. I did one with Exodus and then my other friend Echo and Snail. They were fun to do. There's a whole bunch of other places that I can't really remember because there's a whole bunch of worlds. And there actually is Prison Escape, if you guys like Prison Escape. And then there's another one I can't really think of right now. But basically, other than that, besides making new friends, there are people that have developed relationships in VRChat, believe it or not. And if you guys are wondering how that's even possible, think of a thing of like, you know, Tinder, you got Bumble, you have Facebook dating, you have Hinge, Plenty of Fish, you have all these dating apps. Think of VR like that. People use VRChat to develop relationships. And it's like the coolest thing ever. And I think that's just rocking, man. Another thing I will say about VRChat is if you guys are just looking for a place to just get away from real life, this place has it all. In reality, you can go to any world that makes you feel happy. Like there's plenty of places where you can just go to relax, unwind, chill, have fun, stuff like that. I do it all the time. I hang out with my friends in these calm worlds. I like to go to these places that have like rain in the background and like it's just like a nice environment. Then you have like certain people that just like hype you up and make you feel much better about yourself, and like you do the same for them. Stuff like that is such an amazing thing for that. And especially if you have online friends that you can't see in real life, this is the best way to fucking do it, because not only can you see them in VRChat and just hang out with them, but it feels like they're right next to you. So if you have a friend, like let's say Exodus, who moved in with me, if he didn't move in with me and he had VRChat, which he does, he just doesn't have the helmet like I do, and he stood right here, it's like that he's actually next to me. And that's the coolest thing. It's like the people that you meet in VRChat that you don't have around you IRL, it's like they're with you, but just in a game. But it still feels like that they're with you. It's a really cool feature about VRChat, and I think it's one of the coolest things ever. I would highly recommend playing this game for those reasons, but that doesn't come with the consequences of the bad things that do come on this game, and we're about to get into that too. So yes, VRChat is an amazing place to make friends, go to different types of other worlds, try to join new communities, and all that fun stuff. And VRChat just released an update that'll let you make it to where you can join groups. Groups is another topic that I don't know fully much about. There's other VR YouTubers I would check out, like Thrill Seeker, the virtual reality show, Get Hip, things like that. I would definitely recommend checking those channels out. They're good for those kind of content, stuff that I don't know too much about, but I would definitely look into them. The problem with VRChat is when you're just trying to have fun, but then you deal with kids. Now, you guys might be wondering, okay, well, why is kids being in VRChat so bad? Well, think of it like this. VRChat, like I said before, it's like when you have your friends around, it's like they're near you, but that also comes with a consequence when people are trying to, you know what I mean? People like to do that on here too. It's not just by hanging out. When you can't have, you know, real life, you know, they want to do it on here. And if that's what you do on here in VRChat, that is totally fine. That's up to you. But personally, kids will join. Now, the thing with this is, people do go to their own private worlds and make it to where you have to be invited to join the world that your friends are in. That's the good thing. So if you want to do stuff like that, you have your own private world you can create and do that. But if you're doing it in an online, you know, open public session where kids can join, that's gonna lead to problems, and I don't think we want that, do we? Kids are already messed up and they shouldn't even play this game. But basically, what's even more annoying is when you try to play with your friends, like you guys try to have serious conversations because, you know, your friends are with you. Kids start to jump in those conversations and they act like they know what they're talking about, and then we're just like, what? And, you know, it's probably like one of those, like, you guys might be in the comments might be like, oh, well, Trevin, you were a kid once, and you probably did the same thing when you were young. You know what? You might be right. I think I did do that. Man, wow. How times have changed. The total thing, though, about kids joining, though, is kids can learn a lot of adult stuff from here, which can be good, but it can also be bad. The reason I say it can be both is because they both have pros and cons. Like, but the pros, kids can learn quite a bit of things from adults that can, you know, make them feel more mentally mature, so that way when they grow up, they can be like, oh yeah, you know what, I learned these from these other adults when I was younger. Problem is if you teach the kids the wrong things, it can be bad. I'm just gonna say that, it can be bad. I would be careful with that. But the also bad thing about VRChat with kids joining is, you also gotta take it like, adults curse a lot on VRChat. Adults talk a lot about adult things that kids should not have to hear, but they do, because we don't really think about it. We think it's just like, it's just a game, and like we're all just like hanging out and chilling. That is true. Unfortunately, we don't also realize that kids can free willingly join a public world, and then they hear the things that adults talk about, and then it can get really bad. And yeah. One thing I do think that VRChat does very well is make sure that everyone puts in their age before they make their account and join. The problem that I see is that kids like to use fake birthdays. I'm not kidding. Kids like to use fake birthdays because they like to try to get into these worlds that they think are restricted for adults, when in reality they're not. All they have to do is literally say, I'm over 18, I can join your world, I want to be an adult. They can do that. Unfortunately, even if they make an account that says that they're under 18, if you go to the place like the drinking night world, there's a disclaimer. There's a disclaimer sign. You literally have to just hit agree, and then you gotta hit that you're over 18, even if your account was made under 18. They don't check it. They'll still let you in. These worlds are not restricted. Kids can get in these worlds, and it's not that good of a thing. It's like a security guard at a club. It just lacks to check their IDs, because unfortunately, you know, VR doesn't allow you to check IDs because that's kind of illegal. But, you know, it's one of those things, you know. All in all, I will say that if a kid does get a VRChat world, I highly recommend that a parent does watch over what the kid does. And, you know, obviously, a VR is not like a gaming console where you just hook it up to a TV and the parent can see what you're doing, unless you're on a PC where you're using a link cable on your PC and that it shows on your monitor what you're doing. That's the thing. The headsets don't have HDMI ports that go from your helmet to a TV. Unfortunately, you have to use a link cable that goes from your headset to your PC, so parents can't always be watching to see what's going on. And even if the parents do ask what's going on, the kids can literally just be like, oh, I'm playing with my friends and all that stuff. Unfortunately, that's what they can do, and that can't be helped. I mean, the parents can only do so much, because the parent can only see what they see compared to the kid who's wearing the headset. And there we go. The kid can just get away with everything. And literally, you know, the volume button on your Oculus Quest 2, if you just press the volume button, turn it way down, your parents can't hear anything. Or if you put a headphone jack in, you put it over your ears, you know. It's one of those things, I guess. I don't really know. But all I know is, if you guys are going to play with kids in VRChat, just be mindful of what you're saying around them, because they could be influenced in a bad way, and that's the last thing that you want to be responsible for, is that a kid picks up on the things that you know, and then they use it in a bad way to make it look like you're a terrible adult and you're not responsible enough for anything. So just be mindful of that. Personally, I don't really like playing with kids on here because I'm an adult. I like to play with adults. I like to drink in VR. I like to drink with my friends in VR and play VR with my friends while I'm drunk. That's something else that's fun about VR. I just thought of another part right there. But all in all, just be mindful of what you're talking about while kids are around. Some people have the mindset, well, when I was a kid, I always talked about the stuff that I say now. Good for you. Technically, we should still be mindful of what we say around kids, because they don't need to pick up on the habits that we picked up on. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I want to do more VR content like this. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I love playing VRChat. And I want to get more friends involved, and I want to make more videos like this. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.